Ukrainian servicemen have arrived at the launching point of the Poseidon UAV. First, they deploy 2 antennas, then they assemble the drone. This takes an average of half an hour. After that comes the calibration process so that the drone will fulfill the various commands in the air without error. Ukrainian servicemen are now finishing assembling and testing the operation of the Poseidon UAV complex. Its cost is about 5 million hryvnias. It weighs about 20 kilograms and has a range of 150 kilometers. The Poseidon has a main electric motor with a marshalling propeller for horizontal movement. It also has 4 more stationary electric motors and 4 smaller propellers for vertical takeoff and landing.
Firstly, it takes off like a quadcopter vertically, and this is very useful. Also, it can hover for some time, and it's a useful feature. The wingspan is 3.5 meters. The total length is 1 meter 90 centimeters. Flies about 50 kilometers away from you. Total range is up to 200 kilometers, and that comes out to about 2 hours of flight time. Very good camera, 20 times zoom in during the daytime, and at night there is also a very good picture at 800 meters. It is very pleasant to work with it at night.
Its cruising speed of flight is 75 kilometers per hour. The maximum payload is 3 kilograms. At the same time, the Ukrainian military is using the Poseidon UAV not only to hit targets, but also for reconnaissance. They say it is quite resistant to the action of electronic warfare of the enemy, and it also performs well at night.
If you lose contact with this drone, it will just come back home on its own road. This very often saves the aircraft when the electromagnetic warfare system is operating. When everything is muted, it simply returns.
In order to learn how to fly the Poseidon, servicemen took a 1.5 months course at the Ukrainian Training Center. They were among the first to master the theory and practice flying this drone. Yaroslav had previously worked in the artillery, but when he was offered to retrain, he immediately agreed.
It's familiar to me. I am an IT guy, so I like it a lot. We stream live, and our artillery, infantry, our related units see it, and they make decisions and adjust their actions live.
Yaroslav's mate Mykola is a computer science teacher. The 44-year-old man has already been in the army for a year. Before that, he spent 9 months in the occupation in Mykolaiv region. He says that he saw the attitude of Russians towards Ukrainians then, and it became an intensive to stand up in defense of his native land.
The occupiers made monthly raids. They checked passports and so on. It's very frustrating.
Not every drone can fly in a rough weather. The Poseidon can withstand a maximum of 4 millimeters of rainfall, as well as quite strong windstorms.
The critical wind for this drone is 12 meters per second, but there are 16 meters per second with gusts that it can withstand and stabilize itself in the air. According to the documentation, it can fly up to 4,000 meters, but its working altitude is 1,200 to 1,500 during the day and 700 to 800 at night.
Mykola recalls one of the successful assignments he has been able to complete with Poseidon's help.
We saw a tent car that was carrying occupants.
After that, having immediately transmitted the coordinates of the location of the Russian occupants and their artillery, they watched as the Ukrainian servicemen accurately hit the target. The Poseidon, in turn, returned to his base to wait for the next takeoff. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Anastasia Volkova, Artem Voronin, UATV News.